Did you ever experience that your chronic pain was so hard to treat? Nothing helped over a longer period of time? Maybe it's because there are so many misconceptions about it and people are still falling for them. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview about the most important things you need to know. And in the end, you will get to a special point that is often overlooked. So, what to expect? First of all, the role of your pain when you experience pain. Second, what is the pain memory? And third, how stress and fear fuel your pain experience. Hi, this is Gideon from PAIN.PAUSE.LIVE. I've been a pain psychologist and sufferer from chronic pain for over 20 years and helped hundreds of clients to live a better life. For most of you, the information in this video might be new and relevant. I have this deep belief and conviction that one of the most important things for us as pain patients is to be informed of what's going on inside of us. The better you know what's happening, the better steps you can take into a life with meaning and purpose despite the pain. So, let's get right to it. The first part, your brain is in charge. We start with the most shocking news at first. Your brain decides if pain is felt, and there's no other region in your body to decide upon that. When you're in pain, there are numerous areas in your brain that will work together. I don't think it's necessary to cover all workings of these areas, so I will just talk about some of the most important to you. Maybe you think it's your back that's hurting, or your knee, or your head, your toes. It really feels that way, doesn't it? But actually, it's your brain as the control center that decides upon what you feel in these areas. When we feel pain, there are around 40 areas in your brain working together in a pretty uniform way. This is often referred to as the pain matrix. Yes, you're pretty much hardwired to feel the way you do. Pain is a survival system that's most important to help your body stay alive. So it shouldn't stop working when you're injured, even if parts of the brain aren't working anymore. Please remember that nature designed this for acute infections, injuries, or any kind of structural damage. It didn't think so much about chronic conditions. So, if you like to get more information like this, don't forget to click or tap on the subscribe button right now. Okay, let's go on. There are fibers called nociceptors all over your body. They are specialized in telling your brain when something's wrong in the body. Maybe you cut yourself, got hit, sprained your ankle, or whatever. These fibers tell your brain, hey, something's not good down here. And your brain, as the big control center, receives the signals and decides upon whether it should hurt or not. But its decision is not only based on this kind of signal, but on a number of competing signals. Maybe you discovered that you weren't as much in pain when you had been distracted. Nothing changed in your body except your brain deciding that something else is more important right now. And there are numerous occasions when your brain is doing exactly that. So in the end, it's vitally important for you to remember that your brain decides upon whether you feel pain or not. The second part, the pain memory. In order to get you through life, our brains have to learn all the time. And besides what some people say, it actually never stops learning. Your brain is a huge learning machine, and it's learning all the time, no matter if you want it or not. Learning in the brain means that the nerve cells are communicating with each other. And the better you've learned something, the better the communication between the cells is. The more often you experience something, learning vocabulary, playing the piano, or even being in pain, the more efficient and automatic your brain can give you the information. To find the information in the memory, our brains need to be prompted by some stimuli. For example, I'm German. If somebody talks English to me, I will automatically switch the language without thinking a lot. It's like being on autopilot. The more often you experience this, the stronger your autopilot becomes. All this is called learning. And when you learn things well, there are structural changes in your brain. The nerve cells actually grow. Research has shown that your brain learns best when the material is connected to strong emotions. Even more so if these emotions are linked to our survival in any way. It wants to protect us. This brings us right back to the experience of pain. If you suffer from chronic pain, you can safely say that your brain learned pain very well. Now, what's interesting is that it doesn't learn the pain, but often enough also the stimuli that go along with it or trigger it. To give you an example, one of my clients used to go bowling regularly. And doing this, she often had severe back pain. Because it hurt so much, she stopped this hobby. But she's been dreaming of starting again, and she decided to go to training next week. She sat on a sofa, and the mere thinking about it made the pain shoot in. Though she wasn't doing anything, the mere thoughts triggered the pain experience for her. We know today that basically any stimulus for the pain, and be it an emotion or surrounding where you're in, where you often experience pain, can be learned. And whenever this stimulus shows up, pain comes as a response. Without you ever wanting it, this can be very irritating for yourself and others. Most people don't know what's wrong in this situation because suddenly it's hurting without anything obvious to trigger it. So it's important you know what might happen. The third point, part of the pain matrix, stress and anxiety. Now, this is what I promised you in the beginning, the point that's often overlooked. The third biggie for this video is really an important one. Whenever we're in strong pain, we tense up. Did you ever experience that? On my part, I never met anyone in pain who seemed to be really relaxed. No, for most people the muscles tighten, the heart rate goes up, and if the pain gets on a peak, we might even start sweating. What's happening there? Well, actually it's pretty easy. Within the pain matrix, in our brain, the actual sensation of pain is linked to another survival system, the stress-fear system. So, when we're in pain, we automatically experience stress. For acute situations, this can be very helpful and keeps us from doing stuff that worsens all this. In chronic pain, this leaves us exhausted, maybe fearful, and often in a constant condition of stress. This in return makes us more sensitive to pain. So in short, we can say that fear and stress fuel the pain in the long run. Now, this is an entry point for psychology, of course, because we know pretty well now how to teach our brains to calm down. By this, the experience of the pain sensation will be way different than you experience it now. If you want more information on a regular basis, click the link in the description to get our newsletter. See you stepping back into life.